Wow. Yeah.
Walls pushing in, daydreaming, rhinestone afternoon, grab keys, go car, wheel spin round, zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow, zoom, zoom.
Can't wait for summer, man, when I can drive my electric wheelchair on crowded sidewalks. And love racing right up behind people who are walking in front of me. And, you know, no brakes. They move.
Zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow. Zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow.
He talks about things that all people experience, like love, like relationships.
What he's been able to accomplish and how he's been able to organize his life and being able to make a living within the arts community is in many ways astounding.
It took me a while to get used to the voice, because it does.
Very powerful, but also very positive.
And he has a real passion for the story he's trying to convey.
I started stand-up comedy in 1989 when I entered an amateur comedy contest sponsored by Yes. And to my surprise, I won third place out of 10 people, so that kind of encouraged me to keep developing my act.
Yeah, I remember going to see him at Yuck Yucks, and the MC for the evening at Yuck Yucks would go out on stage with a couple other people and bring him on stage, because of course Yuck Yucks wasn't accessible. You couldn't get onto the stage if you needed a wheelchair. And I think it was really an experiment for him and an effort to sort of get out and he was working at Stats Can at the time and was not particularly happy with working with the future of being a bureaucrat.
And he found it boring. I thought it was chancy. I thought he had a job that he could have made a go of it, but it was difficult for him. I understood that.
I was at my end of my 4 years of university, and it was time for me to go out and make a living. What a huge drag.
I mean, there aren't that many people who are able to make a living through the arts. It's not an easy way to make a living. It's much easier to do almost anything else. And he's been able to make a living in the arts and left a cushy government job.
I was standing around the employment board on campus more to be able to tell my parents that yes, I was looking at the board.
His physical piece, the cerebral palsy, is a very basic foundation to a lot of his performance, to his stand-up comedy, to his storytelling, to the one-man shows he does.
I developed my first fringe show called Still Waiting for That Special Bus. It's about how I have this incredibly hot date all set up, but I'm stuck in my own living room waiting for adopted transit, waiting for para-transpo. I did my bit. I got myself out of bed early yesterday morning to book my bus. Now, they better do their bit. They better pick me up, 'cause I've got an incredibly hot date. I get packed houses in 5 fringe festivals, and one summer from Toronto to Victoria, and then on to Australia to perform for the Paralympics and a 10-week tour, and then Bermuda, and then England, and then the US.
I don't think that many people in our society see people with disabilities as having relationships. I think it's having somebody who has a disability, in a relationship is still something that it's not the model of love and romance that we're used to. It's not, so there's something radical about thinking about somebody with a disability being in a relationship and dating and having those sort of same day-to-day struggles that many of us have.
We were both sitting in the living room of my small apartment, talking over some wine. I leaned over to pour another glass. She leaned over to kiss me. A lot of people don't even want to think about how disabled people might be having sex. Ooh. Colleen maneuvered her big powered wheelchair into my small bedroom. There was a drop of a good 5 or 6 inches, and so she stretched her legs out and began sliding herself down the length of a wheelchair.
How do you connect with the world, and how do you connect with society if you've got barriers every step of the way?
We both woke up around 11 that morning to discover that Colleen was stuck in my bed, quite literally. No matter what we tried, we could not get her back up that 5 or 6 inch drop that she had so magically slid down the night before. I finally went to my neighbor to get help. He scooped Colleen up into his arms and gently placed her in a wheelchair. Will that be all for today? We both nodded yes, and then he left.
Actually, I met him at a party, and he was a performer even at the party, and it was a birthday party, and that's where I first met him. And he was wearing a t-shirt that said "Piss on Pity," and I'll never forget that. And I was like, who is this guy? I totally want to know who you are. And
Shit. More shots.
yeah, and it's his attitude and his ability to laugh at himself that makes it so light, so that people are actually laughing at their own attitudes about people with disabilities, but not really taking it personally and realizing it even. So in that way, I find it very, very intelligently done.
Riding on the roller coasters, but last year they wouldn't let me on any of the roller coasters because they remembered me from the year before. When people waiting in line to get on the ride. Saw the way I was walking when I got off. It's a lot of money that day.
He uses his disability not as, he uses it from a place of power and beauty.
Do you know how many private socks they bought me? Christmas. Valentine's. Summer solstice. Most people, when they think about disability, they think about having to overcome searching for care for disability. I was on this one date last week. We went out to eat at a restaurant. Sat down at the table, the waiter comes over and starts talking to my date. Right? As if she's there to take care of me. As if she's my nurse or something. And the waiter asked her, how many menus do you want? So I decided to answer, right? How many menus do we want? Well, there's two of us at the table. I will take 4. And you know what? The waiter came back with 4 menus. My comedy is a way for me to talk back at all the patronizing attitude I encounter.
One thing that I think that has helped Alan a lot was that we lived in many different places, and it was actually in Germany that I became aware of horseback riding as a therapeutic exercise for him. I knew it from Denmark also, so I got him on a program of swimming and riding, which has benefited him a lot, head control. The heat from the horse makes you relax, and because it's kind of a continuing movement, it helps on your control too. Another thing I think that we should mention is that's been a tremendous help for Alan is his younger brother. Mike has been fantastic in supporting him. They've always been very close. He's been pretty amazing in how he's included Alan skiing. We put him up on skis, and I think it's done a lot for Alan that he's included him in a lot of activities.
Oh wow. Alright, I'll go.
I think your zipper is good. We just have to replace the slider.
Oh, okay.
That will be fine for you?
Yeah, how much?
When do you need it?
How soon can you?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Really good. Good service. But we'll be better if it makes it in.
I think the travel is difficult.
I think initially he really wanted to travel. I think it's made him manage on his own. I also think it's as he's getting older, it's getting to be a bit much for him, and he's thinking about that.
I like to see him with a 9-to-5 job, or maybe a job that in social work, for instance, that maybe isn't full-time, but 3 days a week or half days or something like that. But a regular job where he doesn't travel so much.
Everything that Alan does, yeah, take a long time. So working full-time, which he did at some point for Statistics Canada, took all his energy. So I like him to have a social life and some fun as well.
I'm your mom.
I didn't hardly know anybody in Ottawa. I was lonely, and this guy at the party said, like, let's hang out. And I was like, yeah, let's hang out sometime. And so
I got when we first went out, we drank quite a bit of whiskey.
it's true,
But then
because we discovered a shared passion there. It's hard to have a real conversation on camera.
I had taken drama in high school and creative writing in college. And I always fancied the artist way of life, just sitting around drinking coffee or beer and observing life and creating.
It's brutal to be an artist to begin with in Canada. I think it's hard to get proper support that you need. I think it's even more difficult for artists with disabilities. I've been in creative processes with Alan where I notice how the process of putting a show together hasn't taken into account the time that Alan needs, to get ready for a performance, say, or to even deliver ideas.
I'm going to perform at arts and culture for other youth. Disability awareness with youth.
So if you're ready for it, let's get on with the evening.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I wrote it myself. Cheers.
He was very funny, and I like the way he could put jokes and be talking about something that's actually happened.
He wants to make a difference, and he can see that he is making a difference. Whether it's when he's talking to kids in schools and sort of raising awareness to kids in schools about people with disabilities, or whether he's performing on stage at Yak Yaks, or he's not performing at Yak Yaks anymore, but that I think he can see that he's making people think and that he's having an impact.
I saw you
I saw you opening night. It was terrific. Yeah, I loved it. You just like, I laughed really hard at the beginning, and then you hit me in the sweet spot.
I've also learned at a young age that it was up to me to approach people, to get people to talk to me, to include me, and I realized that if I could make people laugh, they were more likely to include me and listen to me, and people like to laugh.
When you think about his handicap, that he is successful to do stand-up comedy and to do shows, I think is very impressive. Yeah, we're pretty proud of him.
Walls pushing in, daydreaming, rhinestone afternoon, grab keys, go, car wheels spin round, zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow, zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow. Snow offers tears to the river rushing under and into the day, winding through these tired hills, zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow, zoom, zoom, take me where the tall pines grow. Once the vultures gathered to build a planter's dream, saying, hey, there's money growing on those trees. But the people stood up in disbelief, saying, hey, you know, they're a living history. Why don't you know this is where the tall pines grow?